All right, who's excited to learn Psalm 59? Here's the book that we're learning from. And in this psalm, David is once again running away from King Saul, who's trying to capture him and kill him. So this psalm speaks about the great miracle that King David experienced when he eluded danger by escaping through a window. So imagine this, he's in his own palace. He is surrounded by King Saul's men who are guarding him because they surrounded his palace at night and they were instructed to take him out of his own home to bring him to Saul to be killed, because King Saul, in his mercy, did not want David to be killed in his own home, because Saul's daughter, Michal, is married to King David. So what a telenovela this one is. Okay, so he escapes through a window unnoticed by King Saul's guards at the door. So the prayers, supplications, and entreaties that he offered then are recorded here in this Psalm, chapter 59. So the incident to which this psalm refers is recorded in the book of Samuel, chapter 19. When Saul decided to kill David, he sent guards to surround David's house to ensure he did not escape and to bring him to the palace in the morning to be killed. So once again, we've had this many times, but in case you're watching my videos for the first time, King Saul wanted to kill King David because King Saul was the first king of Israel and his son should have been his successor, but instead the people anointed King David and King Saul wasn't happy about that, so he wanted to kill King David and usurp his power. Meanwhile, King David is married to Michal, which is his father-in-law's daughter. So this is a kind of a complicated love triangle here. It's like the opposite of an Oedipus complex. Michal, one of David's 8 wives, told David that he must flee during the night or else he would be killed in the morning. So she's kind of in an awkward position between her father and her husband, but she's definitely siding with her husband. Not sure why. I don't have that insight, but she helped David to lower himself out through a window, and he escaped to Samuel, who was a prophet in Ramah, and then he went to Nayot. So there's an expression, and this comes from verse 1 of the psalm, that one who finds a wife finds goodness, and that comes from Proverbs chapter 18 verse 22. This refers to Michal, who defied her father to save her husband. So this is like the original like Romeo and Juliet story. Perhaps Shakespeare was inspired by King David. So she not only helped David escape by lowering him down with a rope from a window. It sounds a little bit like Rapunzel, but instead of her hair, it was a rope. She then placed various items in his bed to make it appear as if David were lying there. So that sounds also like something a teenager would do, right? In the morning, when Saul's agents came to take David into custody, Michal told them that he was ill. So Saul's men reported back to Saul, who then instructed them to bring David in his sickbed to the palace. In the meantime, however, Michal had given David time to flee even further away from his home. So that's why Michal is praised for having been a good wife for King David, because she basically saved his life. Otherwise, he could have died if she had not warned him that he needed to escape that night. So this psalm also has a lot of allusions or hints towards the Messianic era as a time when there's going to be peace and harmony in the world. And it says, this comes from verse 6, and you, God of hosts, God of Israel, wake up to remember and punish all the nations who are fighting against Israel. Do not grant favor to any of the iniquitous traitors. And so it says, in the future, God will refine the world as one refines silver, and the wicked will be no more. So in the Messianic era, it will be a time of peace and prosperity, and we will not know of all of these kind of dramas and wars. In verse 14, it has the word bechema, and chema means wrath. And that is, again, sometimes the word Hamas in scripture can mean wrath as well. So that's about it for chapter 59 of Psalms. The takeaway message is that sometimes, you know, they say usually that blood is thicker than water, but sometimes the people who we are friends or our spouses, the people who we choose, can become closer to us than our actual blood related family. So it's just to remember that, you know, we can choose our loyalties and alliances with people who we resonate with and who are righteous. Just because there's somebody who is in our family, blood related, who may be very like negative or a bad influence, we don't necessarily have to be influenced by that person. So to be careful like where you get your influences from, and even if it's somebody who we're related to not allow them to influence us negatively. So thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.